Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of Peace, Tea, and Petty. I'm Destiny, and I have a special guest of honor today, Onyx Nova Cosplay, otherwise B.
Hi.
So we met, I think actually originally we met when that whole Xenon blackface cosplay thing happened. Yeah, and it kind of
It's
united.
been a minute.
Yeah. I guess it was like, what was that, August? Yeah.
I guess it was August. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
The
almost
year's
coming
been
up
a
like
weird.
half a year.
It's been a weird, long 6 months.
Literally, it feels like 2 years ago at this rate, the way that
I was gonna
played
say,
out.
yeah, and then I was like, but that wasn't actually that long ago.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was just like, yeah, as like much of a headache as that whole thing was, I'm glad I got to connect with individuals such as
Yes.
yourself. And then
I was gonna
we
say,
also got to talk for the first time ever on Phil's podcast.
Yes.
The conversation with Philip Cooper. Check it out if y'all haven't.
Yes. Yeah, that was the first, like, speaking over the, like, any sort of phone or video chat or whatever.
Right?
But yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
And so I'm like, I like this girl's, the way her mind works. I love her energy. I feel like we match
you're
in
so
a
sweet.
lot of that. And
See,
like,
I was gonna say, I feel like we have such similar energy, so I'm here for it.
right? And after that whole thing too, I kind of found myself realizing I kind of want to connect with more individuals who are a little more passionate in activism and advocating for a lot of things, because I'm like, being passive is just kind of boring. So I'm like, we need the sass. And we're both black. So we're like
Yeah.
kin.
Yeah, for real. Siblings from far, far away.
Yeah.
But not like, after that conversation with Phil, I was like, I don't think I have that many friends of color in the cosplay community. Like, I think I realized after that, I was like, oh. Because I have one friend whose name is, what is her username? I think it's literally like Chicago Cosplay Sarah. And she's half Mexican, half white. And so we've been talking a lot about, like, being mixed and interracial and, like, dealing with being white passing or, like, being mistaken for other races and things like that. And so I was like, I have her and I have a few others, but it's like, before that conversation, I was like, I don't really think I knew that many, like, I had a couple of, like, people I grew up cosplaying with in Tennessee, but I'm trying to think of how many that I, like,
Yeah,
know,
it's honestly like,
and
yeah,
it's a small number.
right. It's so sad. Like, not to say it's like, or well, yeah, it's good to have the diversity and just like someone who gets it,
Yeah.
like coming to realize after, like, because I grew up in a predominantly white everything, I guess you could say. Like, all my circles are predominantly white people, so I didn't realize how much frustration I had from, like, people not understanding when I would bring up something, or them inadvertently trying to, like, silence my experience or pain. Like, yeah, that goes deep, but yeah, like I said, like, connecting with people, your kin, it's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, you understand.
Well,
I
and
don't have to explain.
No, yeah, for us specifically, though, because I was like, I have, like, a couple of Mexican friends, a couple of Asian cosplay friends, but not that many black. I mean, now I do after Phil, but, like, before that, I was like, I think I know, like, 2 black cosplayers that I, like, have seen at conventions on a semi-regular basis, like,
Yeah.
because we all went to, it was all the ones in Tennessee that I was going to, but I was like, we would see each other at those and stuff, but I was like, oh, I don't really know that many cosplayers of color in person. I was like, oh. Or that I talk to on, like, a semi-regular basis. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's kind of depressing.
Yeah, right? So
Because I realized how white my circle was, and I was like, oh. Like, it's not a bad thing. I just was like,
yeah,
I didn't realize how non-racially diverse the people I was communicating were, like, with were. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah, that's not fun to realize.
Right? Yeah. So it's nice to create these spaces and have these spaces, and then
Yes,
we can suffer together.
yes. Yeah.
We're not alone.
I'm glad more people are making spaces, because I feel like for the longest time we felt like we had to join spaces and like fight for acceptance versus just like making our own. But now, of course, that we're making our own, people are like, "Oh, well, why aren't you including us in those spaces?" Like,
Yeah.
you didn't want us in your space. I don't know what to tell you. You didn't want us there, so we weren't there. I don't know.
Right? Oh, that's
Sorry, I guess, but whatever.
Right?
That's fine.
I know we could go on and we know too well.
Forever.
But to, like, I guess to switch gears to
Yes.
another thing, because I wanted to talk to someone who is like about this heated rivalry.
Oh my god.
Our
Side
gay
note,
hockey
did you
boys.
see that they did a heated rivalry look-alike contest in DC?
Okay, yes, I think I saw that on like Instagram Reels or something, right?
Yeah, so there was they did a whole voting system to see who like was the most. So they chose one Ilya look-alike.
Mm-hmm.
But they literally got down to 2 final ones for Shane. Like they couldn't, the crowd was split 50-50.
Oh, damn.
So the Ilya look-alike just made out with both of them.
They were down.
I was like, okay. And it was funny because for the 2 Shane lookalikes, one felt more like Shane and one felt more like Hudson.
Okay.
Like he had like the sunglasses with like a cup and like an open shirt and like he was like vibing, and then the other one was just like in like a pullover or something. Like he was adorable. Like it was like he was like, I'm just here, and it was very cute though. I have been obsessed. I have realized though, I was talking to a friend about the books because she's not a huge romance novel girly, but she just reads way more than me in general. And she had been talking to her friend about the books that they're all based on. And her friend reads the smut. She's into it all the way, right? That's her thing. And her friend was like, actually, these books are too much for me.
Oh, really?
Like the sexual content wise, she was like, this is graphic.
I guess, yeah, when it comes to comparing the books to the show, usually the books, like, they have to change things for the show, because that might be a little much, and that might go into, like, a category where it just can't be put on most streaming services.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that it was like, because she's read some stuff. This friend has read some stuff.
Right on.
And she was like, it was too much for me to finish. And I was like, oh.
Damn.
I don't know if I'm going to read this, but I will wait for the next season to come out.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Like, I'm cool with that. Definitely.
That's kind of where I'm at with, like, Bridgerton, too. Like, I was gonna go read the books, and then now after seeing excerpts from the books and hearing about the books, I'm like, never mind, we're not reading those books.
Well, so I thought it was one of those, I don't think it was Teen Vogue, but maybe it was, like, Cosmo or something. But Connor and Hudson were on one of those talk show kind of things together.
Right.
And they had a video where they had them, like, I didn't realize they were reading excerpts from the book.
Oh, okay.
I thought they were reading fan fiction.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is from the book? I was like, oh, no.
Damn.
I'm cool with a lot of things, but that's too much for me. I don't think I will be reading.
You know what's interesting, because, like, you're allowed to feel that, because I'm also like that. Like, there's some things where, like, I prefer not to watch 2 people get it on, just because I'm like, I feel like that's a private thing, but I get, like, TV and it's all centralized. But I heard a group of people, and this is where it goes into, like, the fan base, where it's, like, the division of, like, gay appreciation versus fetishization.
Yes.
Like, a girl was just saying, well, she didn't want to, like, watch Heated Rivalry just because she, like, they do show a lot and allude to a lot, so, you know, that's fair. Like, I'm like that with Bridgerton. I'm like, oh god, like, they literally play out the scene from start to finish of the, you know, basically.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
But then people were like, oh, you're just homophobic for her saying that. And I'm like, no, that's...
No, but see, on the other side of that, there are the girls who, and it's mainly women, I've noticed. It's because even the straight men who watch it they're more doing it to be like, oh, I'm actually cool with this. Like, it's actually moving, and it's like,
Yeah, there's a good
it's
story.
become like a sweet, like, oh, these guys actually like feel for these gay guys, and they're like experiencing this love with them, and they're like not making it weird. They're just like,
Yeah.
and that's been nice. But for like a lot of the straight women that are watching it, it's like, oh my god, they're so hot. But then like actual queer people will be, you know, saying things and being like, hey, like when you say X, Y, and Z about the guys from Heated Rivalry, it's actually kind of like fetishizing us in a way that we're not comfortable with. And they're like, you're just being sensitive. Like it's just a show. And I'm like, you should listen to them when they say that though. Like they're the ones with the lived experience that
Yeah.
those guys are representing. Like, and then I remember there was a whole thing. Oh, this made me so mad. There was a whole thing about people being like, oh, well, Connor and Hudson aren't actually gay, so it's just like taking away from actually gay roles. And I'm like,
Mm.
they actually haven't said their sexualities at all. They've
Right?
never come out and said what their sexuality is.
Yeah.
And no one cares about the guys who play, oh, what are those other guys' names? The cute coffee barista boy
Oh,
and the
yeah.
other Scott and
Scott and Kip?
Kip.
Yeah.
Kip.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one, but I've never heard anyone say it about them. And part of that reason is I've never watched, it's like a sitcom, I don't remember which one. But the guy who plays Scott also plays a gay guy in that show,
Oh, okay.
which I can't remember, it's some sitcom kind of thing. But he's like more flamboyant and like sassy and like a stereotypical gay man in that one. So I'm like, maybe it's because people have seen him be gay before, like in a show, that they're like, oh, I'm not going to say anything about it. But I'm like, it's it's unfortunate to assume it's just the whole like bisexual pansexual erasure of like,
Yeah.
if two same-sex people get in a relationship, it's automatically assumed they're gay, they're lesbians, like that's the assumption. But if like when Shane dates that actress chick whose name escapes me, it was assumed he's straight. Like they just assumed that, and mind you, he is gay. He came out about that. He's like, I didn't actually, I
Yeah.
just dated a woman. But like the assumption by the fans and like the text messages they show or like the tweets or whatever that they show on the show, where it's like, oh my god, they're so cute together. They're such a like, it's just assumed like, oh, he would date another woman after that. Like there's nothing that's like any, and there's, I mean, there's no reason for anyone to assume that he's not straight, I guess. But like that's part of the show is that it's assumed that all these hockey guys are straight.
Yeah, and that's interesting. You just made me think of something too, similar to the Michaela and Francesca thing. Like I've seen people doing that same thing of like, oh well, she was with John and now she's with Michaela, so she's bi. But then some people are saying
Oh,
she's lesbian because she's with Michaela, and it's like
from
yes,
Bridgerton.
yeah. So there's like
Yeah.
yes, there's like elements of like some people can relate to that like on a lesbian standpoint of like you know you date men because that's a heteronormative thing, that's societal
Yeah.
pressure, societal norm, and then
Yeah.
but not to erase by like being bisexual, but like until the character themselves like says this is my sexuality, this is what I'm interested in, you can't like just be like, oh no she's bi, oh no she's lesbian, and have that stupid little discourse.
Yeah, and I remember it was, what was it? It was, I was talking to my friend about, I want to say, because she's, I have a friend who's been trying to get me to watch like Buffy,
Oh
and I'm
yeah,
pretty
an
sure it's
OG.
in Buffy or one of those same era shows. It could. This girl talks to me also about like Dawson's Creek and like Gilmore Girls and all that
Throwback,
stuff. So
hell
all
yeah.
of those kind. She grew up on all those. She talks to me about them all the time, and I'm like, I just like listening to you talk about something you're passionate about. Go off, girl. But she was saying, I want to say it was in Buffy, that there was a female character who dated a male character in one of these shows, and then she later dates or shows interest in a female character, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, she turned gay." No, I mean, dude, this was the early 2000s, so people weren't really
Yeah, they weren't in tune with the
knowledgeable about like
nuance.
bisexuality and all that stuff, right? But like, it's one of those things where I'm like, why do we why does it matter?
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing, because I'm like, because as someone who grew up, like, I have a BFA in theater. I grew up acting. That was my whole thing. Before COVID hit, the plan was to move to either New York or LA or something, and like just try my best and see what happened. Like, that
Right
was
on.
gonna be like, and then COVID hit, and I was like, well, moving's expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe not. But so I grew up doing theater all the time, and the amount of it's such a weird, like, double standard that audience members have with actors, where they get weird about straight people playing queer roles,
Mm.
but they do not care about the fact that a lot of queer people only play straight roles and they don't get to play queer roles. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, they're like, oh, well, this straight person's playing a queer person and that's erasure. No, not letting these queer people be queer on screen is the erasure. Because, if anything, showing a queer character is more representation, regardless of what the actor is doing, right? In their personal life,
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. But if you only ever see these gay people and you don't realize that they're gay because they don't get a chance to be
To
queer on
be.
screen, then it's like, what's really being erased here? Because their lived experience won't be changed for either way, right? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. But what gets seen more is the shows and movies that they're in. So it's like what's his name? Ian McKellen? Sir Ian McKellen? Is that it? No, not Ian McKellen. Who am I thinking of?
Gandalf.
Yes, yes.
You got it right. Yeah, that's his name, I believe.
Yes, yes. I was
Yeah.
like, it was him, and he doesn't play Magneto, though, does he? Who am I thinking of? Does he play Magneto?
Is
Hold
it? Now I'm actually like, yeah, look,
on. Oh, I have to look into this.
the facial blindness, I'm like.
Well, that's the thing. I am so bad with actor names and
Same girl.
the shit they do.
Yeah.
Ian
like,
McKellen.
I want
Is
to
it
say
him?
it's. Or maybe am I thinking of the
Is
guy
it?
that played Star Trek Captain? I forget his name. Patrick Stewart? Is that? But yeah,
Oh,
I could be
you might be.
messing
I
this
think
off.
you are. Hold on. No,
Yeah.
no, no. I think you're right. I think you're right. That sounds. That sounds correct. If my phone will load it. If my phone wants to load anything. Well, okay. I know he's. Are we calling him Charles? Don't give me that shit. Say Magneto. Professor Xavier. That's who I'm thinking of.
Oh, okay, good. That's what.
Not
Yeah,
Magneto.
that's what I assumed you were
Professor
talking
Xavier.
about. But I'm like,
Because they're both gay men. But it never comes up in any of the roles they play.
that's
It
true.
doesn't ever. And it doesn't
Doesn't take away from
matter
them.
for them. Like, they've done so many roles. They did all the Shakespeare, and nothing's more queer than Shakespeare, and people can fight me on that one. But, like, well,
And there's probably
Shakespeare-
something there too with like. Sorry, I was just gonna say.
oh no, you're good. Go for it.
Of course, the history of being queer viewed as a negative thing and being
Yeah.
oppressed and suppressed. So there's that element
But
too.
I'm sorry.
But yeah,
like,
go ahead.
what's more queer in from an audience perspective than they would have a leading man played by a man, and this is olden days Shakespeare, like when he was around and was directing these things.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would have a young boy playing a woman who would disguise himself as a man to get closer to this man.
Yeah, they had it.
Like,
it's been normal for years.
It's
like,
built into so many things.
Yeah.
Because women weren't allowed to act back then.
right.
So, like, every single romance story ever in Shakespeare was two men. Every single one.
And,
Every
like,
single side romance, every
Yeah.
single married couple, every, like, the parents of Romeo and Juliet, men.
men played by men.
The Romeo and Juliet themselves, men. They're all men.
And that's like another good example too with that is Squid Games. I don't know if you've seen that.
I've only seen season 1.
Okay.
I've not watched season 2 yet.
I guess this isn't necessarily a spoiler. It's just one of the characters is trans, and is played by an actor that's not trans. And of course, there's an uproar about that. But a lot of people didn't realize that like Korea is still living like years and years in the past. Like being trans, they'll get killed for that still. Like
Yeah, no. If that actor actually was trans, they would not be in Korea.
yeah,
They
exactly.
would be somewhere else.
So there's a
But
lot
also,
of yeah discourse similar.
what is it? There's one of the side. I can't remember which team he's on, but one of the actors of the hockey teams that Ilya or Shane. I think he's on Ilya's team. Is it actually a trans man who I think he did play professional hockey before his transition.
Oh.
I believe, but he was an actual hockey player
Oh damn.
that like came out and then like so they put him in the show.
Oh.
And like so for a lot of trans people who know that
story.
actor's history, it's like
Yay,
but
representation.
they don't talk about it in the show.
Yeah.
It's not in the show.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known
It's
that
just,
if you hadn't told me. I'm honest.
Yeah, I know, and I wish I could remember that actor's name because he was such a. I think he's the one I'm pretty sure that shows Ilya when Shane starts dating that actress. And he's like, oh look at this.
Okay.
He's that guy. He's one of those guys who's like in the gym with Ilya, like talking about it. I can see his face, but like I said, I'm terrible with names. Don't ask me.
No,
names.
I feel you. No worries.
Don't even ask me. I don't know. But so like, and like the director of Heated Rivalry is gay, and like, but also like, people were trying to talk about the author, and I was like, she's also never stated her sexuality, as far as I know. She's never come out. Did you know? So fun side fact. Do you know what Heated Rivalry started as?
No, I don't.
It started as.
Is it gonna be like Twilight, where it started as like a fanfic of like Harry Potter or something? And oh shit,
It's a Captain America and Bucky Barnes fanfic.
really?
It's an AU where they were on different hockey teams.
Oh my god.
And then it got so popular that she was like, I have to make. So Ilya is the Winter Soldier and Shane is Captain America.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's Steve Rogers. And it's so cute. And I learned that and I was like, oh my god.
Oh, damn.
It's incredible. But I'm like, I don't know. As someone who is queer, right? I'm like, I don't feel the need for the actor who's queer and also an actor. I don't feel the need for the actors to be the sexuality of what they're playing because most actors are cool with the queer community. Except you fucking Sydney Sweeney.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, the ones we know.
Yeah, well that's the thing, right? Is like it's very obvious which ones are not cool with it. They've made it well known. But like most of the time, the straight actors they're chill.
They're
they know
allies.
that
Yeah.
most of the people that are going to be in the production with them, working on their hair and makeup and costumes and even like the techies behind the scenes and stuff, they know that there's a good chance that any number of them are some sort of LGBTQ, right? Like there's any number of
There's gotta be a high percentage people in the theater, that kind of industry are likely queer or ally of it.
And especially and I can't speak for film so much as the stage. But like that was a safe space for so many queer artists, which is also why drag has so many elements of theater and theater has so many elements of drag, is because they were one and the same for so long.
Right. Like the ballroom stuff, is that like
that's
like the
ballroom, which
history.
So OG ballroom, like Stonewall Riot era ballroom, and a little bit after, they weren't always being like these flamboyant big ass drag queens. They were just seeing who could. It was actually closer to cosplay is now. They were seeing who was more canon at being a certain. So there would be ones who were like, how well can you pretend to be a soldier? How well can you look like an everyday man, like walking down the street? How well can you look like a modern woman in society? Like it wasn't all like how crazy and dancing and like all that shit can you be? Because I watched Paris is Burning, and one, that movie will just absolutely fuck you up. But two, because it's an actual documentary that was done at the time of the queer people who did ballroom and things like that. And because this is also during the AIDS crisis. So it's like, it was a very heavy time to just be gay
Mm.
and be outwardly gay. And like, I know that for Heated Rivalry specifically, they touch on almost the taboo of being outwardly gay and
Yeah, that
like
was very
when they're
powerful. How they.
yeah, like when they're at the coffee shop with it's Shane and Scott and the black guy whose name escapes me because they say it like once.
Yeah.
Um, but Shane's like, oh yeah, I grew up doing like training for skating with this guy. Can we go watch him do like professional skating and like ice skating? And the black guy's immediately like, oh, he must be gay, but like good for him for being like vocal about it in Russia because that's dangerous. But like just the assumption that a guy who's doing ice skating is gay is like, you know what I mean?
That's a
Versus the
stereotype,
two gay
yeah.
men that are sitting at the table with him
Yeah.
that he doesn't even
We're just
realize are
masking so
actually
hard.
gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's a headcanon for, I don't know about the book, so I'm not, this is not me speaking about Shane from the book, but the headcanon for a lot of people, for TV Shane, is that he's autistic, or that he's like neurodivergent or something like that, because he seems to miss like social cues and like he's very direct and like, he like when Ilya's like flirting with him, he is just answering him directly instead of like
Picking
being
up
like, oh,
on
there's
that.
subtext to this.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
it's like, that's, I think it's very sweet, but it's like, a lot of people are like, well, people probably don't know because he's just kind of socially awkward anyway. So like, they wouldn't pick up on if he was flirting with somebody. They wouldn't even know, and they're probably why they're like, oh, he doesn't have a girlfriend because he's awkward,
Right.
not because he's into dudes.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, for Ilya, he plays up being the ladies' man so publicly that him being bi is erased because he's so outwardly a ladies' man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they talk about it. Like, even when he meets Shane's parents at the end, the first thing the dad says is like, I thought you were a ladies' man. Like, so it's not even, because they're not unaccepting. They just like are confused because they're like, that's not the persona that you've put out for the world to see. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Their
I don't know,
silence.
it's just interesting.
No, that's a good point. Their silence scared me at first, and that's something
Oh,
I was refreshed with the show. Like, every instance where someone could have been shitty about them being queer in some way, they're just supportive, understanding. I'm like, this is so refreshing to see a healthy queer relationship, healthy allies, friends, parents, like, all the above, and
like, I'm sorry, Kip's dad, father of the year.
he
Father
was
of
my
the year.
favorite. He's like, I love you, son. Like, oh my god. I'm like, yes.
And like, because he was so obviously like, it seemed obvious that he was out to his father. Because I don't think he was hiding that he was with Scott because he was gay.
Yeah.
I think it's because he was a professional hockey player and he didn't want that getting out to the world. Because he didn't want to ruin the reputation of Scott. Like, him being gay didn't see, because he would go to that like unofficial gay bar all the time with his friends who were also outwardly queer and like didn't care. You know what I mean? Like, they were all very like, and I say obviously because their relationship was so like not toxically masculine.
Yeah.
Because like, he was, when Kip is late for work that one night where he's the hors d'oeuvre guy or whatever.
Yeah.
For the big fancy night, his friend is like, baby, you're fine. He's like, baby, you're fine. He like like, it's a very caring relationship.
Yeah.
Which straight guys don't always have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not always, but also even like, God, how many times have I cried during the show? But even like, when his mom's like, Shane's mom steps outside, and she just like is taking a breather. I'm like, oh God, she's not going to accept him.
Right?
She's gonna be like, I didn't think this is what was gonna, like, I was expecting the worst. I was fully expecting the worst of the worst.
Right.
And then all she says is, I'm sorry that you didn't feel like I was safe enough to talk to about this. Like, she was upset that she wasn't, in her mind, a good enough parent for him to feel open with her, instead of realizing just like how scary being openly gay was in the early like 2000s. Like,
yeah,
it was, because I remember like with every like celebrity, like, oh, are they gay? Like, is that like it was like always seen as a negative.
Yeah, even in
Like,
older, and I know you mentioned before, like older comedian, or what do you call those? Comedic shows or sitcoms.
oh,
Um,
sitcoms. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that would always be the punchline. They'd always be
Yeah.
like I'm not gay, whoa, or what are you, gay or trans? And
Yeah.
like they'd always be like in a negative light, in a derogatory
Mm-hmm.
way, and it's just like, so they normalize this thought of like, yeah, being gay is the worst thing you could possibly be, and you know,
It was an insult.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they would be like, oh,
Yeah.
you're gay, as an insult. Because you remember that, what was it? Was it Hillary Duff? The fucking Hillary Duff commercial from Disney Channel, where it was like these two girls bullying this other girl, and they're like, you're so gay. And like Hillary Duff comes up, and she's like, oh my god, I wish I can find this ad. I hope I can. And she's like, that's so a girl wearing a skirt as a tank top. Like, insulting their fashion choices. I mean, like, that's the same thing that you're doing by trying to use gay as an insult. And at the time, it was like, whoa, crazy. But now it's like, so dumb.
Yeah, yeah.
If that was made today, people would be like, this is an SNL skit. Like, this is bad. But it was her being like, that's so a girl with box bleached hair dye. Like, it was those kind of things where it was like, you can't use something about somebody as an insult to who they are as a like that kind of like, whatever, bro. I get what they were trying to do.
It's just, like,
Right.
execution
I appreciate the attempt.
Yeah,
Right.
especially for that time, I guess. And I hate
But-
making excuses for, oh, it was a different time, but like, fuck.
But for those kind of things, it was a different time because we didn't have a
Yeah.
precedent for queer people in media.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that wasn't a thing. That wasn't, like, talked about. Like, I remember seeing a post that was like, well, actually, renting used to be so affordable that if you had a roommate in the late 90s and early 2000s, people just thought you were gay. Like, and hiding it. Like, that was because if you had a roommate back then, it's like, well, why do you have a roommate? Rent was $2 and a banana to pay per month. Like, it was stupid. So it's like, why would you have a roommate?
Damn.
It makes you seem gay. Like, that was the stereotype is, oh, like the aunts or the uncles who lived with their best friends and never got
Their
married.
special friend, yeah.
And like after their husbands died, they just never remarried and like lived together forever. Like, and I get it because it wasn't safe. It's not safe being. It's still not safe being queer. And I feel like, how do I explain this? Like, politically, we're fucked. But like,
Yeah,
but,
for real.
but like societally, I do think Heated Rivalry has done a lot of good. Despite the negativity that comes from the community,
Yeah.
or not like there's those specific people that I was mentioning earlier, like the negative Nancys.
And it's always, seems to always be the case with any fandom. It's always like, there's always going to be the toxic people that take it out of stratosphere. But like, given the context of this too, it's so much more meaningful to like assess this and analyze it and talk about it, because it is powerful. Like like that scene where Scott, like, he finished his game and he was pointing out Kip in the crowd. I fucking cheered and cried. I'm like, and then watching how it affected, right? And then watching how it affected the younger generation. So Ilya and Hollander, like, and Shane, and they immediately, like, you know, it's like, that's so powerful, and that's such good messaging. Yeah. Like, we need the role models and the portrayals. Sorry, I can't even like talk right because I was like,
you got excited. I understand. That's how I feel as well, because I think it's a very powerful thing for all of it, because Scott is I don't know if you noticed this, but every other gay man we see in the show talks about his family. Scott never talks about family, ever.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like...
Because Kip has his dad.
You're right, yeah.
Ilya talks about his shitty father and how much he misses his mom. Mm-hmm. And Shane obviously has two very loving parents.
Yeah.
But Scott never talks about his family.
Doesn't he, like, one time with his speech, because he was an orphan or something? Or
he mentions... Well, that's what I mean. He mentions that he was, like, because of the scholarship program that he was a part of.
Right,
but even then,
like, spoke about them.
He never talks about like a foster family that took him in, or like, oh, I found my parents later in life. Like, he just never talks about any sort of, oh, my aunts and uncles found me. Nothing. no family is ever mentioned. So he's, if you think about it, the one with the most to lose because he has nothing else to fall back on.
That's a good talk. And oh my god, I'm gonna have to reheat again because I'm like, I'm like noticing that. I'm like, oh, and how that plays.
Because like Kip wants to be an artist. He wants to go to school for art. Being gay and doing art, that's
hand in hand.
That's the baseline right there. All right, that's the baseline.
Pretty much, yeah.
And his father is obviously accepting. So like, it's not like he's gonna lose his dad, who we assume is at least his closest family, if not his only family. They never really talk about his mom or anything like that. So
yeah,
it's assumed that it's just him and his dad, and his dad supports the ever living hell out of him. And then like Ilya, we already know he doesn't like his family regardless of his queerness. It has nothing to do with him being gay. He already doesn't like his brother. His brother starts shit with him all the time. His dad expects way too much of him. Like, and his mom died. Like, so by taking her own life. So it's like the one person he did have removed herself from the equation, and he, I think, feels responsible for it, if I had to guess. He seems to feel a little... Every time he mentions his mom, it's with, like, a tinge of, like, guilt. He's, like, a little bit, like... And that's why he always wears the necklace. His mom's necklace, right? Like, which is really sweet. But, like, Scott could have easily been removed from the team after that. They could have been like, yeah, listen, this is... Our sponsors don't want anything to do with this. Our sponsors are...
And then it'd be
not...
hoops.
The fans... are having a terrible time with this. Like, this is... We have to... I'm sorry. Like, there could have been any number of things that, like... You know, as the bosses, they could have been like, yeah, no.
And that's crazy to actually... Because during that time, you could be, like you said, removed from the team. Meanwhile, literally, like... I think it was sometime last week, there was a basketball player... Oh, fuck. Here's the name thing that's gonna fuck me. It's like
names.
Jaden Ives. That's probably not it. But anyway, he went on his Instagram live, and he proceeded to be like, "Oh, the LGBTQT's a sin." You know, just the heavy religious psychosis bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god,
just calling it a sin or whatever the word he used. And then literally, like not a few days later, they kicked him off the team because of that. And then he made another live bitching about it. So I'm like, look how far we've come. Like, you're gonna spout your bullshit about the LGBTQ plus community, and you're gone. Like, that's... And then I just hate when they like spin that sob story of like, well, we're not allowed to have opinions, and
that's always what they say.
Make
though
me so mad.
because...
Like, yeah, that's harmful. That's not an opinion. That's you being a dick.
Yeah, well, because this is my hot take, and it's not just about him. It's about everyone who, specifically, like, the political leaders we have right now, and, like, that car was so loud, I'm so sorry.
No, that's all good.
The political leaders that we have, and the Andrew Tates, the Charlie Kirks that we have, right, is that I think, my hot take is that they're all gay.
You know what?
They're all gay.
There has got to be something there, because who else would project so hard or have so much of an issue? And, like, I can even relate that to myself, because I used to be brought up in, like, a religious way and, like, just head in the sand and very bigoted in a lot of areas. And then I started doing cosplay and then opened my mind and, like, realized stuff about my gender identity, attraction, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, wow, I'm actually queer, to say generally, to make it easier. But, like, yeah, it was just, like, just me, that internalized, phobia.
Well, because they always media. They always say the weirdest things, right? Because it's always like, I have gotten so on my threads.
Oh my god. I enjoy seeing your comments come up.
I just, it's what I do at night to release all the anger in my body. But I've seen I get a lot of those, like, alpha male pages recommended to me, not because of what they're saying, but because of the responses.
The comment section. Yes, I'm never leaving that out, man.
I saw one, oh my god, I'll never get rid of it. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. But there was one post that drove me into an actual, I was like on the verge of psychosis. I was like, this can't be reality. Because what do you mean this guy with his full chest on this alpha male dude bro page said, women get to see 95% of the men in their lives be attractive around them. While we walk around, there's like 1 to 2 women a day that might be attractive.
I saw
and
you
I was like,
reply to that.
I was like, my brother in Christ, you're just gay. You're just gay. Like, it's okay.
That's literally, yeah.
You can be
It's
gay
okay.
now. It's allowed.
Yeah.
You're not going to get shot in the street in America for being gay. And I know there are other countries where it's not as safe. Like we mentioned Korea, like specifically North Korea. But like any of the Koreas, I know it's not safe. Even in like Japan, it's still kind of a taboo because I follow this, there's a lesbian bar that I follow from Japan.
Oh, yeah. That's so random.
Well, they just like their page because I was like, I want to go to Japan one day. So I started like looking at all these like tourist things and like saving them. And then they were like, would you like to come to one of the only gay bars in Japan? And I said, would I?
Sign me up.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
So I just followed them because I was like, in case I like that video gets taken down or something, like I want to be able to, because it wasn't their video, it was a like,
Oh, someone like,
here are a few different queer places in Japan, like that kind of thing.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really cute. It was really cute because there were a couple gay, a couple lesbian bars they talked about. But like my thing with it, because they were like, they're open about it on their page, but I'm also just like, I can't imagine how hard their daily lives are. Because it's not like in America where people are like, gotta throw shit at them, yell slurs. They're just gonna get like avoided.
Yeah.
Like, people just won't make eye contact with them. Like,
I wonder
just
if
not, it's
I wonder if it goes deep to not getting like job opportunities or denied stuff like that, like, or kicked out of the family or disgraced.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Because
Yeah.
there are some, I've seen some, and I'm going to say Asian because it wasn't just Japan. It was like also like for like China and like Korea and like some of those more strict areas over there near the Eurasia area. To be vague about it, but like they were like, I had to move out of the country because if my parents found out I was gay, I would be kicked out of the family. I would be homeless. I would be all these things.
Damn.
So I just left so I could have a better life and like be happier in my life. And now it's so weird to see America be so like bigotedly run to where like there are laws being taken away that we've had for so long that were not just for the LGBTQ community, but like women's reproductive rights and like there are some places fighting against interracial marriage and like which I'm sorry, I would like to take a moment as a person who had interracial parents.
Is the product of it, yeah.
What the fuck am I to do?
Yeah, right.
Because I couldn't marry a white guy, right? Because I'm not white. I'm black. But I can't marry a black guy because I'm white. I'm not black. You see what I mean? Like, I am both. And also neither.
Logistics
so it's
doesn't
like,
make sense.
So would I have to marry another mixed person? And if so, how are we going to measure how mixed we are? You know what I mean? This goes back to the whole, like, fucking one-drop bullshit from slave era. Like, where do we get to that? Because I don't know if you've experienced this as a mixed person of color, right? But for me, it's always been like you're not black enough. Like, oh, Black History Month is here, but you're only half black, so you only get to celebrate half the month. That kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
But also, like, white people don't see me as anything but a person of color. They don't see me anything as but black.
Yeah.
They don't see me, well...
The token black friend or colored friend. Yeah.
They think I'm Hispanic a lot, too. Because there's a huge Mexican population in this town.
Right.
So much so that the area that I live... What?
You just get whatever they assign you. They're like, oh...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because, like, the area I live in, like, colloquially is nicknamed Little Mexico. Like, I live right next to Little Mexico. Because there's such a large Mexican population here. But, like... when I go to work, these motherfuckers don't know where I live. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know the area I live in. So, like, if my Mexican neighbors nearby thought I was Mexican, I would understand that. I know where I live. But if white people in the grocery store think I'm Mexican, I'm like...
yeah, it gets to the point of, like, why does that matter?
Making assumptions.
Yeah, like, why does it matter?
Well,
like, you should be aware, of course, and aware of the nuances of what people of color have to go through, but like it's like the focus and the jokes everyone always likes to make about it and the assumptions and stereotypes. It's like, what does that do? Like,
It's because, at least in America, we still have colorism is still so ingrained in everything we do.
yeah,
Like, not only racism, but specifically colorism is still ingrained. Because dark-skinned black people, not all of them, of course, but a lot of them think that we have it easier because we are lighter skinned. But my life has not been easier because I am not dark skinned. I don't get hate crimed actively, right? Like that's the only thing I think I would do have the advantage of is that it takes people too long to figure out my race. And so they're like, oh.
Yeah, by the time
gone.
like they spent all that energy in their brain, like I'm out of energy to do anything
By
else.
the time they were trying to think of the correct racial slur, I'm already walked by. Like they don't
Yeah.
they don't know, man. Like shit. But like, but also it's like, I think it's an issue that white people know exists, but they just play into. Mm-hmm. Right? Because like I said, white people are just going to assume I'm not white. Doesn't matter what I am. White is not going to be the race they assign me in their head. Mm-hmm. Even though I'm 50-50. They're not going to assume that I'm white, right? That's not going to be the assumption that's made. But with black people, it's like darker skinned black people, they're like, oh, well, you didn't have to deal with what I had to deal with growing up. I'm like, part of that's probably true. Like, I probably didn't have, like, the racial slurs thrown at me like you did. And, like, that kind of thing. But I've just had different racial slurs thrown at me.
Yeah.
I had someone tell me to go back to Saudi Arabia. Like, what?
I hate though, or, well, so
like, someone
stupid.
thought I was Egyptian?
It makes no sense, but it's also,
Specifically Egyptian.
laughable.
They
And
could have just said Africa. They could have just said go back to Africa.
Yeah, that's
But they
very
were like, no,
specific.
go back to Egypt, specifically.
Like, okay, thanks, I was born here, but cool.
I was like, yeah, no, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, so please try again.
Do you also get asked
What?
those questions of, like, where are you from, even though you're from the fucking country you're residing in? And it's like,
Yes,
you're like,
but it's usually an insult. That's the thing for me.
Yeah.
Hardly ever is it someone just being like I will say with Mexican people, when they will just, or like Hispanic people in general. I say Mexican because most of the people around here are Mexican. But when Hispanic people in general approach me, they will start speaking to me in Spanish.
I've got that.
And
Before
I'm
too,
like,
we're
oh, no habla español.
Yeah, right.
I am so sorry. And apparently I said it too good one day. I apparently said no habla español too good, and this girl went,
You're lying.
and I was like, I don't know Spanish. If you
got
need
so
me
good
to
at-
place a to-go order, I might be able to. Jesus Christ.
See, like, I
But,
don't
like-
mind it from other colored people of
No,
color,
yeah.
but the white people, it's like, that is such a deeper meaning for that.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because when other people of color ask me, it's oh, are we from the same spot?
Yeah.
Or
you fam?
you
fam?
originally, yeah, for real. It's like, are you from here, or did you also immigrate here like I did?
Yeah.
Like,
to connect with
it's
you.
more of it is a fam thing. It's a more of a familial feeling of like catching up with old relatives. Whereas when white people do it, it's
You don't belong
I
here.
assume you're not from here because you're not white. So I'm going to make crazy wild accusations about where I'm going to guess you're from.
Yeah. And it's just
I've-
like, do we want to play the game? Like, till they ask the question correctly, even though they probably shouldn't be asking that question, because what does it fucking matter? But, yeah.
Yeah, do you want to play the game of what is your historical genetic background, which I would respond with, how the fuck would I know? Slaves didn't have paperwork.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Like, nothing pisses me off more. And I know it usually from white people, it's not even a thing they think about because they don't have to.
Yeah.
But the amount of times I have been asked of, oh, why don't you do like a 23andMe? Why would I? So I can learn what kind of white my mother was and then be like, oh, we can make it back to 1886 on my dad's side And then we don't know anything before that because that was the first black person in our family line who got paperwork. You know what I mean? Like, that would be the kind of shit that would just depress the fuck out of me.
Right.
That would just depress the fuck out of me because I don't want to go back. One, I also think, this is a hot take, white people, stop getting your genealogy. Just stop it. Fucking put the genealogy test down.
Let it, yeah.
Put it down.
There's so much toxic practices and thoughts with it. Like, I get it can be cool. Yeah,
no,
I could go for it.
Go
Okay, I was gonna say, I get it can be cool. But like the whole tradition thing and the name, like, it can get toxic, and I won't get too far into it. But then my also, like, tinfoil hat kind of side of me is also like, you're giving the government your DNA, but okay.
Yeah, your DNA is going who knows where. Where's your DNA?
Yeah.
What are you doing with that?
That's kind of sus. Not that I take that seriously, but yeah.
I will say, 23andMe has helped solve some true crime cases.
That's true.
Including cold cases where they had the DNA from like the 70s, 80s.
Damn.
But they didn't have the DNA technology. Like, they knew, like, it was a weird time during true crime of like the forensic analysis and things like that, where they knew DNA could be important, but we didn't have a good enough grasp on how to test for it. Because, like, in the 70s, when they found, like, if they found blood that they knew was from the perpetrator of the crime, right? All they could really do was get a very vague, slightly racist, like, test to be like, oh, this person, I'm not going to use the words they used for their test, but they'd be like, oh, this person is most likely a black male, most likely an Asian woman. Like, they would do those kind of things.
I'm not surprised, but yeah.
Those were not the words they used. I want to be so clear about that. If you want
slur.
It kind of, because it was it's like how the R word is a slur now, but it was a scientific term at the time.
Right.
It's a similar, like, the base, how do I explain this? The base words that they were using, because they had the whole, like, scientific breakdown of the big ass words that they would use, right?
Yeah.
But the beginnings of words have now become racial slurs. Like, the words that they were using, the beginnings of them, the prefixes, the main, like, to denote which race it was, have now become slurs.
Damn. I mean,
so it's like
it's the slang of,
like, if you go back and watch, I'm a big fan of Forensic Files. Don't get me wrong. I love Forensic Files. But sometimes they will say things and you're like, oh, you cannot say that. Oh my god.
Not this day and age. Didn't age well.
So, like, if you want to keep giving your DNA to the government, go for it. Just don't make it your entire fucking personality. Yeah. Like, I used to work with this guy, and I will fight him till the day I die. You know what? I'm gonna put this motherfucker on blast, because I don't give a fuck. His first name is Lachlan. Let's start there. And this motherfucker, one, didn't know what a shower was.
Oh, no.
Whatever. But two, he always wore, I'm gonna call it a Scottish beret. Not to insult Scotland, but to insult this man, because I know it would piss him off to call it that. But he always wore what they like, the traditional hats that, like, the bagpipe players,
circular
with the little pom pom on top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? They're always like that plaid color. They're really cute. I don't actually know the technical term, but it looks similar to a beret, right?
I mean, hey. Yeah.
And he would wear it, despite our work specifically stating that you were not allowed to wear hats. He would wear it every day.
Damn.
And he was like, whenever someone said anything about his hat, he was like, oh, thanks, it's because I'm Scottish. My ancestors are Scottish, so that's weird. Why And he found his family crest.
Oh, no.
I don't even know if his name is Lachlan. I feel like he made that shit up. Because it was spelled Lachlan, which is a name.
Yeah, I feel
like... But I feel like he just chose that fucking name. I feel like he chose it because it sounded Scottish. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, brother.
Into weird...
No one cares. And my favorite stories, though, admittedly, some of my favorite stories that I see are when white people go abroad. And they are like, I'm Irish American. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, so you moved from Ireland after you were born in Ireland to go live in America? Or your two Irish parents moved to America and had you there and you were a first generation American who was born of two Irish parents? And they're like, no. If you
No.
look back 12 generations, I I have 6 relatives who are 75% Irish, possibly. And they just get absolutely dragged for it. And they're like, I don't understand why they weren't accepting of me. I don't
Yeah,
get
then
why
they
they didn't.
cue the
I'm
victim
like,
tears.
I'm like, brother, because we are already a laughingstock as Americans. Do not make it worse
not.
for us
It's just
by
that weird,
being
like...
idiot. God, they're so
like,
stupid.
what it is like wanting to be part of a club or something, like, to a point of feeling entitled,
Yes.
ignoring and disrespecting boundaries and terms and definitions. It's just so, it's so laughable. And then like only clinging on to like, yeah,
It's
just laugh.
It's, well, I mean, what else are we to do, right? Because like America is the laughingstock of the world right now. Mm-hmm. We are the ones being made fun of. And honestly, I get why. If, what is it? Is it Iran that's currently dragging us through the mud with their fucking promotional videos? I do not condone the use of generative AI. However, they are whooping our asses with some of the...
Clapping them cheeks hard. I'm like, oh.
It's, like, I'm like, don't use Gen AI. But I'm also just
yeah. It's like,
damn.
yeah.
Damn. I'm just like, shit, man. And meanwhile, like, it's one of those things where, like, we are actively, as queer people, as people of color, like, always have been fighting for our space in this country. Always. Mm-hmm. That's just been a constant. And I will argue that people of color have been fighting longer openly than queer people have, like, historically. Because both have always been there.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like people of color have been more actively, openly fighting since the beginning of America versus queer people.
Yeah, because it's not something you can hide, I guess. It's like you can look at someone and
yeah,
like, oh, that's a person of color, versus you can
and that
hide
was a thing that
queerness.
I was struggling to talk to this person about, who is a white trans man. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, well, when they start making all these trans laws, like, I'm going to be screwed. And I was like, no, you're fine. Because he hadn't legally changed his name. He hadn't started any of the medication or even the therapy because to transition, at least in some states in America, I don't know if it's everywhere, you have to take at least a year of therapy that proves that this is a thing that you need for your, like, mental health to continue living, right?
Yeah.
Like, that is a, like, you have to go to therapy
for the most part.
Exactly.
See a bunch of specialists and whatnot.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's a stupid ass thing. I fucking hate it, but it is what it is. At least there is a way to still do it, right?
Yeah.
But, like, at least there's even if it's stupid, it could be done way easier, and they're making it hard on purpose.
Yeah.
But he hadn't done any of the outward steps that would make him a target for the government. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing outwardly about him that could be checked by the government. Because he had, like, trans flags and stuff like that, but he never posted pictures of them online. He never showed, like, he had them for him, but it was never a, like,
you're not a visual target now. You're just, he's
I think the only thing he did was maybe post some, like, trans art, but the caption was vague enough that it felt like allyship. Okay. And not, like, a personal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I was like, no, you're gonna be fine if this was right around when Trump was reelected. Like, when, you know, the big concern of, like, oh, what all is going to happen now, like, the fear of the unknown. And he got offended. And I was like, why are you mad that you're safe? Because that's not me saying you're not trans.
Yeah.
That's me saying the government has no way to track you for what you're doing. Like, there's no, like, you don't have a secret Twitter account where you're, like, posting about being trans. Like, no, like, all your social media is clean. Like, maybe not your search history, but, like, even that could just be, at most, circumstantial evidence. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be used against you. And I was like, because I can't hide that I am a person of color. I can't pull a
Yeah.
Drewski and, like, white mask over the, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
which, side note, did you see that Erica Kirk tweeted out that her own daughter thought it was her? And I'm like, girl, how little are you with your children that she didn't clock that it wasn't you?
I'm laughing. Like, I know if I seen a lot of people saying, like, some tweets between Drewski and Erica have been fabricated. I'm not sure to which extent. I don't have X, and I know, like, sure, they could delete their tweets or it could get removed. But
yeah, that's true. That's
still,
true.
even so, like, it's still hilarious, her reaction, regardless what's true or not. Like, and I believe it. I believe, like, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's a fair point. I will say the one I know is true because I saw it on X, because I kept it
okay.
For local news, because I don't have cable, is the one where she was like, oh, but if I did blackface, it would be a problem. Yes, actually.
Yeah.
It would be. Like, you're correct.
Hello?
That's the truest thing you've ever said. You were right. Good job.
Yay.
Like, good job. You were right
God.
this one time. Because I'm like, yeah, what he's doing, because this is the whole how do we explain to white people that whiteface isn't a thing argument, like discussion, because the only thing that what they seem to not understand is the thing about blackface is that it has affected black people's daily lives.
Yeah.
Whiteface has never done that. There's not been a single instance where blackface has ruined, or where whiteface has ruined a white person's career.
Yeah. And like, or sorry, continue.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
This mic, I'm trying to, like, not go too off on a tangent, but, like, the impacts of it, like, because obviously the historical effects of racism and whatnot, like, we as a person of color could call a white person a cracker, and they could, and that has no impact. That's just silly. But if they call
offended,
us,
but
but it's not like them calling us an N-word. That's fucking loaded. Or, like, they don't have the experience of walking down the street and having someone scowl, clutch their bag, or walk to the other side of the street, or getting killed just for, or denied job opportunities. Like, this list could go on and on. So it's like, trying to explain
so many things. Because blackface, because there's two different types of blackface that are most prevalent in modern day. There is the Shane Dawson, I'm going to literally do blackface to make fun of black people, like, that kind of, that still is a thing. All of the generative AI images making fun of black people, that falls under that category of, we're trying to make you the butt of the joke, to continue with the stereotypes that you are ignorant, that you have several children, that you cannot take care of yourselves, that you're all drug addicts. They're trying to perpetuate the negative stereotypes of black people. And then there is the Kim Kardashian, Jeffree Star using white models in dark foundation, like, that side
like,
of things
covertly.
where, like, I know we all joke about Ariana Grande being every race under the sun, but, like, there's also, like, the desire to be us. They want our skin color, they want our hair, they copy our nails.
Lip
and mind you,
injections.
that's just, exactly. And this falls under every form of colonization, because I know we've been seeing it a lot more with Asian communities lately, with the matcha kick that happened, and now ube is the big thing, and they keep calling it oob, and I want to scream into the moon. But, like, but it's the things that, like, there's nothing, like, if one, what do white people have for us to take? But two, if we were to take things from white people, it doesn't take anything from them, right? If we take, let's say, kilts, that takes nothing from the Scottish community. They might be a little confused. They might be like, why are all these black people wearing kilts now? But, like, they're not gonna, like, you know what I mean? But, like specifically with ube, there is now an ube shortage in the Philippines and in Thailand, because they keep exporting so much of it to the U.S. And it's like, those are things that have real world implications outside of the white sphere of existence. And likewise with the negative blackface that I was talking about, the we're going to try and use you as the butt of the joke one, those get internalized. Those get kept inside. And those, even if it's a well-dressed black person going into an interview who has no black scent and sounds like a standard American or whatever the fuck you want to say. That shit pisses me off so much.
Yeah.
That's a thing from theater where they say it's a standard American accent. They mean white.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I sound like this. It's because I was raised, even though I was raised by a black father, he did theater. And so he got rid of any sort of black scent that he had.
Just to
because
conform
he did theater.
and placate white people.
And so since I grew up with a black father and a white mother, I never was around that growing up. So people are like, "Oh, you must be from the north." And I'm like, "Brother, I'm not."
Yeah, that you sound so white. It's like
yeah. Yeah, nothing makes me more upset than white people being like, haha, I'm darker than you.
Oh
and
my
like, You're
God.
gonna get melanoma. Good job. Like, I don't... Good for you, buddy.
Yeah, right?
I don't fucking know what to tell you. Like, I don't go outside because I will die in the heat. I have a weird medical thing where being out in the sun too much, like, my body doesn't process heat like everyone else. Yay.
Fair.
But, like, it sucks, dude. But, like, there's nothing that, like, even the... Like, I feel like the most, like, negative stereotype of white people is the redneck, like, what's his name? Larry? Get Her Done? Like, the guy who played Tow Mater in...
Oh, okay, yeah,
Cars. Yeah, that...
Married the cousins and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Like,
so, the guy who played... Is his name Larry? Shit, I have to look this up. I can't live with myself. I have to know.
I still haven't watched that movie. I need to.
Oh. I'm not gonna lie. The first one, baller. You don't have to watch the rest of them. I know. Hot take.
No, that's
Larry
fair.
the Cable Guy. That's his name. So Larry the Cable Guy he was a comedian. Now, mind you, he is a white man, so it's not whiteface. He just is a comedian who his whole shtick was being a redneck on stage. That was his whole thing. Was yeehaw, get her done, like all that shit was his bit that he would do as a comedian.
Yeah,
but that has never stopped him from getting a job. That's never stopped white people from getting jobs.
Yeah.
Like, even if they fall into that category of the stereotypical redneck of sleeping with your cousin and having 12 kids and we live in a trailer, even if you're trailer trash, white trash, whatever, right? Like, those, like, negative stereotypes that white people have, they're still more likely to get a job than the black people or Mexican, Hispanic people, the Asian people who are qualified for the same job.
Mm-hmm.
Because when white people say, "Oh, they're coming here to steal our jobs," they're wrong. Because you're more likely to get that blue collar job that you've applied for. Because, oh, they don't want to work with people who don't speak English. Oh, they don't want to work with somebody that they stereotypically think is going to steal from them. Right? Like, they don't want to do that kind of shit. They don't want to work with people whose names are too hard to pronounce. Right?
Yeah.
Like, they don't want to deal with that. They would much rather work with a Joe than, like, a Deshaun, because they don't want to say Deshaun. They're like, "Can I just call you Sean?" You know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
They say these things, and I'm like, yeah, all the, like, Mohammed, who's a heart surgeon, is not stealing your job. You were never qualified for that job.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's the people who aren't at those levels to get those jobs. You have to do it based on what you can get, not just what jobs exist. Like, that's ridiculous. You can't just be on every job that exists in America, right?
Yeah.
You have to do it based on what you're qualified for.
And that's like to say, like, the portrayal of, you're like blackface and whatnot and the impacts. You get people who genuinely think that way. Like I fucking hate Charlie Kirk. He literally said a phrase of like, oh, he saw like black pilots, right? And he's like, "Oh, I'm not sure they're qualified." And it's just like, you guys are insane, because like that's the impact of it. Like, you get people genuinely thinking that way and perpetuating that thought. And I had another thought and it just left my brain.
But like, yeah, it'll come back. But like, statistically, like with black people, they have to try harder. They have to score higher. They have to be better at the job than their white counterparts just to get the same treatment.
Oh,
like just to get the same job.
Yeah,
you know?
It just came back, and that actually works perfectly
Beautiful.
with that. I feel like a lot of white people are scared of us and this might be a little bit petty of me to say, but because we fucking dominate in a lot of things we do. Like, sports, look at sports. Like, Olympic stuff, like, even music.
We have to.
Like, black music, black performance. Yeah. We have to be on it. Like,
we don't have a choice. Because if you're not at that level, then you're not going to get the, like, exposure that you would need to go further in, like, I'm not gonna dox myself, but I do have a family member who plays a professional sport. Oh, wow. I have a family member who is a professional athlete. I'll tell you about it later. But I have a family member who's a professional athlete. Yeah. And I know that when this relative was in school, the amount of hours that this relative put in to the practices of that sport, the games of that sport, the just overall, like, health and maintenance of, like, working out, of, like, taking care of themselves, of, like, all this shit, right? Yeah. Just so they could get the opportunity to be treated like their white counterparts for that sport. Like, I know how hard my family member worked to get that, you know, and they did. But, like, it's one of those things where they had to, like, fight for it, you know?
Whereas, 1,000% versus the probably, like, mediocre 50% other people would have to.
Well, that's the thing. Because I'm no, like, sports bro, but I have seen the statistics of some of these athletes. And I'm like, I'm sorry, some of y'all need to retire. Stop. But it's also like, how many mediocre white comedians do we see on a daily basis on Instagram who are going on tour? How many mediocre white bands, white rappers, white singers, white whatever do we see who each of them have thousands of followers, but we've also seen people of color better than them who have way less.
Right. And then you see those bigger ones stealing stuff or co-opting stuff. Like, I had a friend the other day. He's very funny, and he wanted to do a comedic routine, and so I was like, oh, great. But he was asking me, like, he wanted to do some race stuff, and I was kind of like trying to be as gentle in my, like, I was like, he was asking me what terminology. I'm like, you know what, just avoid any slurs. As you as a white man, just avoid slurs. And then later on I thought about it. I'm like, why do we have to use race jokes in the first place?
We don't.
Like, and it's very, very, very rare when someone can deliver one that's actually, like, will get me, like, you know, that's actually kind of funny. But, like, ultimately it's like, that's, like, why do we feel the need to even go there?
Well, because most of them, because I've learned that the funny ones that I've seen about race have been the white person dogging on themselves for not being as good as the other race at something.
Yeah.
That's the formula that works. Is, oh, I am white, but X group is really good at Y thing, and I could never. And then that's when it's funny. Because most of the time, and I've seen it the same way with, like LGBT jokes, specifically trans jokes, because that's one that people always want to do. It's like, if you can say, like my current favorite, like, internet joke is, like, they'll post the trans flag and they'll be like, I don't know what country this is, but everyone from there is gorgeous as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that makes me laugh, right? Because it's like, it's not insulting anybody.
Yeah, that's a wholesome, good joke, like, genuinely. And it's complimentary.
Exactly. It's a nice thing. But any joke, regardless of topic, if you are insulting somebody who is not you, it's going to be a bad joke.
Yeah.
And it's not because people are sensitive. It's because if you offend somebody and then you have to explain why it's funny, it's not fucking funny. If you have to explain a joke, you've already lost the plot. The joke's dead.
Yeah.
If you have to explain it, the joke's already fucked.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why it makes me so mad when people, like, do try to be like, oh, I'm gonna be so clever and witty with this, and, like, come up with the funniest joke about race. And I'm like, unless it is your race, or you're saying that you are worse than another race.
Yeah, then don't.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, honestly. There was
also that... Oh, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, there's that, Asian guy, Asian comedian, and he literally was making jokes about ICE. And I can't remember. You probably seen it, right? The phrasing was just like, I don't know. It was a hit on. It was a dig on black people essentially, and it was just like,
Yeah,
oh
I feel
my
like
God.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because because as a black person who lives, I kid you not, 3 minutes from the ICE facility in my city. I live 3 minutes from it.
Yikes.
And as I said before, I live in Little Mexico. It is not a good combination of
nerve-wracking.
things. I was like, wow, it's cheap over here and the food is good. I didn't know it would become a problem later down the line because I'm going to be targeted, right? But it's one of those things where it's like, I'm all for making fun of ICE agents. I'm all for that. I've seen some pretty good ones on that.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, it's because, and people are going to be like, oh, but they're still people. You're making fun of a job. Not a race.
Yeah.
And that's
someone who
the
made
difference.
a choice. Someone who also made a choice to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it bothers me is when people are like, oh, why are you insulting police officers? Why are you saying ACAB? Because they chose to be cops. They chose to be ICE agents.
No one,
Like,
put a gun to their head and was like, you have to join now.
You must join or your family dies. No,
Right.
that didn't fucking happen. But, like, they want to... But this is what I've learned, specifically with those two groups, is that the people who get mad about them get mad because they associate it with whiteness.
There it is.
They don't associate it with a career. They associate it with their friends.
Our white
with their
supremacy
family
is
members.
under attack.
Yes,
And it's not like-
and that's what it is.
And it's not like dunking on a job like someone working at McDonald's or Walmart, because it's like you can just apply for those jobs. It's a job you have to pass a test and training and all this shit. So there's work to it and probably money you have to put into it. So it's like that's such a choice.
Like I mean, mind you, their training sounds like it was shit, but like
yeah.
for everything I've heard, like I've heard that like hairstylists have longer training periods than like cops do. Like like timeline wise, it's longer. It might not be as physically intensive, but it's
Definitely,
longer, right?
definitely a better skill for sure. Yeah.
But it's just they associate these things with whiteness, and they don't know how to disassociate themselves from their whiteness because it's the place they have the most power.
True that.
Which is why they don't understand why whiteface isn't offensive. Because they associate it with their entire personality. Because it's all they fucking have.
They are the superior race. They are victims.
No, yeah, they're always
Somehow.
the victim. Always.
Yeah.
They've never once not been. Don't get it twisted. They've never once not been the victim ever in their lives. It's,
Yeah,
no,
I
impossible.
can't. I've been getting so
I can't
frustrated.
think of a single time.
Right, and people are bringing up all these examples that aren't necessarily points that make sense to the argument or not even like, I don't know. It's just like getting frustrated because at some point I lose the ability to be like articulate exactly or I just get exhausted and frustrated. But
Yeah.
it's just like I think it's safe to say, and it's not radical to say, that white people can't be victims of racism. Like, sure, you can be discriminated against in a different matter of ways, but like the skin color thing, it's just like, just why are we being so defensive of this? And I'm just getting annoyed too because it's like people in my close circles believe that, and I'm like very disappointed and like upset, honestly. So it's like,
well, yeah, because like there are certain things I understand, like what is it, xenophobia that's against Jewish people?
I guess
That
it's like,
I understand.
yeah, xenophobia.
That like that
Prejudice.
one, that makes sense to me because it's more than just a racial group. It's a culture. It's a religion. It's all these things tied into one. It's a big thing.
Yeah,
right?
and it's not because of the skin of their color of their skin that they're getting dunked on. Like, it's
No, yeah, and like a majority of the ones that I know who are both like who aren't just Jewish in terms of religion but are physically Jewish are white or are like Caucasian or whatever. Like they are,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And like, while back in the day, definitely it was much more of a problem to be Irish American or Italian American. Like there are stories of like Italian Americans were basically considered people of color back then because they were like treated like black people. They're like, oh, they're just coming into our neighborhoods and they're lazy and they don't want to do anything and they're just taking all our jobs. Like, it was the same argument that's being used now. And for Irish Americans, it was a similar thing, because they just weren't treated like white people until basically they were like, if you join us, we'll not treat you like black people anymore. And they were like, well, I guess. Like, but like, it's one of those things where in modern day, no one cares if you are white. That is just, they don't care. Regardless of where you come from. Like, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen people be like, oh, my British husband got deported by ICE. And they assumed he wouldn't because he was white. Like, he didn't have a green card. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he got deported because he's here illegally, like you say all the other people are.
He just doesn't have the visage, but...
So yeah, sorry he's white, I guess. I don't, like, didn't stop... But also, that's, like, on the other side of that, that's why I get so upset at, like, black and, like, Mexican people who, like, join up with ICE. Or, like, they make those pages that are like, oh, black people need to calm down. Which some of those pages online, I think, are just white people using, like, stolen images 100%. Or, like, AI. You know what I mean? Like, because I see a lot of those for women, too, where it's like, why don't women just listen to men anymore? And it's, like, a female profile picture, and you're like... You're from the Czech Republic.
I've seen that one come up on my feed multiple times. This girl, and it's like, that's not a woman, right? And calling females, like women,
if you use the word females, like
it's
you're
very telling. Yeah,
sorry, but it's one of those things where I'm like, why? It's the whole, we think if we join the side of the suppressor, then we won't be suppressed.
Yeah,
and that has historically never worked.
Right?
That has never worked in history.
It's like not only are you alienating your kin, and now you're just like you're the front fodder for them. You're the human shield now.
Yeah,
like
because what happens if they hypothetically get all of the people of color out of the cities? Who is left? You in the uniform is left. As a person of color. Like, I do know a lot of it is the education. Because I think that's also what's wrong with, like, the LGBTQ representation, is that we just aren't educated enough as a society. Like, as people, like, in America, we're not educated enough, like, as a general statement.
Yeah.
That it's easy for people to be tricked.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I call MAGA a cult, there was no real brainwashing that had to be done. He just fed into the beliefs they already had.
Yeah. Just plays some...
And, like...
Sorry, go ahead.
The statistics of people being left-leaning or liberal because they went to college says a lot about... In America. It's a higher statistic. So I'm like... And not to mention that Trump literally said he loves the poorly educated, but whatever.
Yeah, it's right. It's so funny how they're not even being covert about it. It's so blatant. It's so, like, even without education, I don't get how people can't see it. And I saw another black activist, Keandria, mention she was got to be like, I'm coming for, what was it? One of the previous white president, was it Bush or Clinton? I don't know. She's like, I blame you for that No Child Left Behind thing because it was essentially just pushing people through, and now we get idiot adults, and it's like that didn't help nobody, and this is why we're in this situation largely.
My favorite thing is that there's an image of him like waving to a crowd of people, and they've edited it so where it says no child, it just says child left behind. And people will use that clipped image under stupid pose. And I honestly need to download it on my phone because I'm tired, bro. I'm tired of feeling like one of 5 smart Americans in the world sometimes. Because people also outside of America generalize Americans. So, like, they'll see one post about Americans and they'll be like, why are Americans so stupid? And I'm like, not all Americans are stupid.
Yeah.
I know that it seems... I understand why you think that. I get it.
Right?
I do.
The smart are suffering in silence. Or
I think that almost every day I walk outside. However, we exist in the world. And it's just, I don't know, it's just tiring, especially with, like, And I think that's not to circle this all the way back to fucking heated rivalry, but like
Oh,
I
that'd be
think that's what
perfect.
bothers me the most about people being petty about little things. Because like I don't know if you know this, but Shane is Japanese American, but his actor Hudson is I believe Korean American. So it's not the same Asian ethnicity background, right? And people are like, well, he's taking a role from a Japanese American.
Oh my god.
That is
And
not
it's
the
like,
big issue right now, bud.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
I guess he's technically Canadian.
Or yeah,
because
Canadian.
it was in
yeah.
Canada.
But that just rolls.
So
yeah.
well, because Connor's American, but I think Hudson actually is Canadian. So
Yeah.
Korean Canadian. But Connor is from fucking Texas. Whatever, boy. Okay, sure, fucker. Whatever, Adonis. Anyway, but like, it's one of those things where it's like people get onto that, or like, okay, Ryan Coogler, you know, the guy who directed Sinners. He wrote and directed Sinners. He is apparently, I don't know if he's directing, producing, writing. He's working on the Animorphs. You remember those books? The Animorphs, where all the covers were like a human teen, like tween, who converted into some sort of animal, but it had like the 6 images of like them becoming the animal on the cover. You know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Fucking Animorphs.
Here,
I believe it's Animorphs is what they're called. Animorph. Yeah, here, let me... They had these fucking... Oh, if you don't stop fighting me, phone.
Oh, no worries. I think I found it on,
They have these kind of covers. Oh, if my phone will quit.
Oh, okay,
Where it's
yeah.
like that kind of thing. Where it's like the Animorphs. Yeah, so he's working on the TV show.
Okay.
Or of it, I believe. Or a movie, but I think it's a TV show. Which I never read those books growing up, but basically it's kids who turn into animals. Alright? That's the whole shtick. Is the kids turn into animals. I don't know what they do with those powers. I couldn't tell you. Alright? I never read them. I did like to look at the covers because they were holographic and they were fun to like.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, you know, I was a big like hang out in the library kid growing up, so I would just like. Anyway,
Hell yeah, I feel you. I
that's
feel
neither
you.
here nor there. But they would there are already comments being like, oh well, I hope they don't make this some woke DEI bullshit.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I'm like, there are people of color in the series, and you know how I know that? Because I looked at the covers growing up. They had the kid who was the main kid of that book on the fucking cover. I was like, that's how I know there's an Asian boy in it. Because he was on the cover. There's a black girl in it because she was on one of the covers.
See, that's
like
all they have is anti-woke DEI rhetoric, and it doesn't make any sense or has any place. I don't understand.
And it's, there was an, because I live in the South, there was an ad for, I want to say, a governor who was like, DEI stands for dumb, evil, and like ignorant or some bullshit like that. And I was like, brother, did you just think of the first words?
Yeah.
Like, come on now, man. But it's like, because I'm honestly surprised that there wasn't more hate for Shane being Asian. But I feel like if he was black, it would have been a completely different story.
I think there was the actor was getting some racist. I didn't hear too much of it though, because my algorithm has been pretty behaved, so I haven't
good.
seen that side. I don't know if it's like even in the books. I don't know if he's supposed to be half Asian.
Yeah, in the book he's Japanese Canadian.
Oh, okay, so
yeah,
maybe that's what it was then. If he's not specifically that.
Well, that's what they were. That's the only English. That's the only thing I saw people upset about was that he wasn't Japanese Canadian.
Oh, okay,
he was
it's like,
Korean
are we being
Canadian.
Productive now at this point, like what?
Well, that's
yeah,
and that's
I don't
where.
see...
Not to shit on the white people who like us for the most part, but I need you white savers to calm it the fuck down.
Yeah, getting too much.
Being that picky is not helpful.
Yeah.
Being that picky is not helpful.
That's such a good point to make.
Like it's the same thing with, oh, these actors aren't queer. It's not helpful. Because now people aren't going to want to make queer media with people of color in it, because they don't want to risk that shit. Like, I don't know if you heard this, but I mean, I was in school actively when Hamilton was being like produced and like put out on to Broadway.
Oh yeah.
But white actors, the shitty ones, were getting mad that the casting call list specified that they were not looking for white people. They specifically were, they didn't say no white people. They said we're specifically looking for Black, Hispanic, Asian people to fill these roles. That's what they asked for. But do you know how common that is on casting calls?
Yeah, they do that for
everything.
Yeah, like why would you want a white person to play someone who is a character that's supposed to be Black, and usually that's tied into their stories or whatever other ethnicity.
Because that's another thing that pisses me off, but that I like about Heated Rivalry, is that so many stories about people of color are about their race. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't have to be. They can just so happen to be that race.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they don't have to be... Like, it doesn't have to be about their struggle as that race.
You're just like
and
that's people.
And that's why I love... like Shane and his mom, especially the fact that his mother is his like business agent essentially, and not his dad. It's his mom.
Yeah.
His Japanese mother like is the one who takes charge on everything. And it's like, and like I learned what is her name? The Black girl that is Ilya's best friend. Yes,
I forget her name too. Jessica? No.
No. I have to look it up now.
Yeah.
But I will find out. But she,
No, Svetlana?
Svetlana. That's it. It's
there
Svetlana.
it is. I'm like, no, it's something that's tied to the region.
I was like, it's very Russian.
Yeah, fuck. Jessica, what the fuck?
Jessica. I wish it was. That would be hilarious. This
Right.
is Jessica. She's been born in Russia, lived her whole life. But no, apparently she's not that big of a character in the books.
Oh.
But they made her a bigger character for the show.
Okay.
But again, it's not about her being Black.
Yeah.
The only thing that Ilya mentions is like, oh, she's American. He does mention that at one point. He's like, I could marry her for a green card, basically.
Right.
And like I could use that to like move to the States and like get out of Russia. Like he mentions that in his little, I think that's in the cabin. I think he mentions like I could just marry Svetlana and Shane's like, don't you fucking
it's just like, how dare you?
How dare you even bring that up as an option? But like, it's one of those things like it's not, and like I haven't watched Bridgerton, but that's one of the things I love about Bridgerton, is that as far as I know from just seeing it, it's not about their races. They just so happen to be those races in this high society life.
Yeah, we're just skipping past the racist bullshit and just like, you know what? People of color, and I love that for like that's what I do adore about that series too. It's just like there's
what are they
nothing to
gonna
do with
do?
that. Yeah.
Like what like because white people try to be like, oh, it's not historically accurate. I don't think that's what they were going for.
Yeah, it's like, who cares? That's boring. I don't want to watch a bunch of fucking white people shagging and being all posh and annoying. Like,
you can just go watch like Pride and Prejudice again. I don't know what to tell you.
Like there's way too much media of that, and it's not like it's so reality. Like we watch TV to be entertained for the most part, and for fantasy or whatever. It doesn't have to mimic reality.
It's not that big of a deal.
It's not that,
But it's the same argument they use for fantasy. Oh, elves can't be Black. Why?
Yeah, right. Especially in fantasy. It's like, where was like that doesn't exist. So why does there these rules all of a sudden?
Exactly. And like as much as I ironically love Twilight, because it's very my love of Twilight is
Guilty
very
pleasure.
ironic. It's I'm like, if I start looking at the plot holes too deeply, I fall down a rabbit hole that I'll never come out of. But like with the author, Stephanie Meyer specifically, welcome to my new podcast where I tell you everything about Twilight. But no, she fucking grew up Mormon. She is still a Mormon. And so the vampires are based on the Mormon version of angels.
Oh,
If you look at the comparison, they are the Mormon version, which is why they sparkle instead of burning alive in the fucking sun, right? It's because that's what Mormon angels do.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's why they're all really pretty. Mormonism. Anyway, when the movies started coming out, Laurent, the black vampire.
Right, yes.
You know, the single one that exists. She fought them on that. She did not want him to be black.
Oh, really?
She was
yikes,
like, oh, he's not black in
Stephanie.
the books. And they were like, well, yeah, but why can't he be black? She didn't have a good reason.
Bam!
It's just because,
Eat
like,
it, Stephanie.
she just was like, and that's why he's black in the fucking movie. It's
He
because there was no reason for
ethereal.
him
Yeah, that's
to not be. And, like, I
love
could go
that
on
for
all
her.
day about this, but my final one that
Okay.
I can think of at this moment is Tim Burton. Because I grew up with him. I grew up loving him. He was my favorite. And Tim Burton is a racist piece of shit.
no.
And because there was a point where he was doing an interview, I believe. This was probably early, mid-2000s. Where someone straight up was like, why do you not have black people in the things that you make? And he was like, oh, because they don't work with my character designs. Got a lot of backlash for that.
Oh.
So if you ever watch Beetlejuice, the sequel, there's that entire Motown section because that was him covering his ass for being racist.
Of course. I'm not racist. Look, black people. There they are. There.
I put an entire
have a
Motown
black
section
friend.
in. So I obviously can't be racist.
Let me guess. They're probably like very stereotypically done or something.
It was Motown. It was the 70s. They had the afros. They had the long V-neck like shirts.
Oh,
But they
okay.
were undead. It was because it's in like the underworld that
Oh,
like
okay.
they go to, right?
We just put it there to have it.
But it's a completely unnecessary section of the movie entirely.
Oh,
I mean, I have
okay.
my own qualms with that movie in general for a lot of different reasons, but like that is one of those scenes where it was definitely like a, oh no, I'm doing this for my own ass. I'm doing this to save myself. Because that whole movie was just him being like, I'm a great guy. I don't need Helena Bonham Carter. Because they got a divorce and she's doing way better than he is.
I love that.
But it's fine. You know, it's just very like, we didn't need a sequel. We didn't. We could have left it where it was at. We should have.
Yeah.
I mean,
hate when
I love seeing older Winona Ryder. Don't get me wrong. I love that woman. But
Oh
like,
yeah.
we don't
don't need
need.
to-
And it was one of the last things Catherine O'Hara did. Which is, I just love seeing her as that mom anyway. So I was here for it. But yeah, my cat just jumped in
Oh.
my ear.
Oh, I heard kitties.
You
I locked
purring?
mine out because they keep jumping over.
Oh yeah, no,
everything.
I can't because they start screaming, and I was like, I would rather them just go take a nap than
Fair.
scream forever. But no, she's just going pearl.
Right on.
But yeah, it's just there's so many things that this is what intersectionality is. This is the problem. This is the issue. Everything is connected.
It
So
is.
much
It's
more.
great. I love, and that's like, I enjoyed this discussion because it's just all like
been beautiful.
all around, and then looping back to heated rivalry. Holy crap! words. Rivalry.
Yeah. Which I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it for like a third time. Like,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna.
Honestly, no. That's. I think I've watched it 2 times fully, and then just kind of bits and pieces as I'm like seeing fan edits and stuff being pointed out. But now
my
that you
gosh.
pointed out the thing about his family, I'm like, well, I gotta watch it again, and I can't just
Well, yeah,
watch the
'cause
section. I gotta watch the whole
It's-
thing. Like,
Yeah, it's so interesting to see what they will like. What are you doing? It's so interesting to see like what you find on the second like times round. I will say there's some people who are so intense about this thing, and I'm like, y'all need to go touch some grass.
literally.
But, like, they were like, I remember there was one talking about like, was it like a pleat in his shirt or something? And I said, y'all need help. We don't.
Oh, yeah, that's
We can't-
much.
We gotta move on. We gotta move on.
I was
But,
like-
they were intense, but I was like, okay, guys. But no, it's just like it's a great show. I know there's going to be. Oh, the one thing I will end with is the rumors I've heard about season 2
Oh yeah.
is that it's gonna get real sad.
Oh no. Yeah, that's what always worries me when. Sorry, specifically which.
Oh, no, go
Wow.
ahead, no.
Oh, I was gonna say, it always worries me when you see a couple you want to get together sooner in the series, and then later on you're like, okay, but now what's the next obstacle? Are they gonna make them like, or what?
Yeah. So the thing I've seen people hint at, and I'm assuming this is from people who've read the books, but I don't know. So maybe slight spoiler, but we don't know actually because it's not like it's been proven or anything.
Yeah.
But it's going to be about Ilya's personal mental health struggle after his mom.
Okay.
So it's going to be him, like, processing that and, like, dealing with that on top of trying to keep a healthy relationship going with Shane.
And you
Because,
know
like,
what?
obviously, he has his parents. He has Shane's parents
Yeah.
to support him. But he has, I mean, and I feel like Svetlana would support him.
Yeah.
Because there's a in one of the times they're hanging out, because they have the Jane and Lily in their phones.
Right.
So one of the times they're hanging out, Svetlana says, "I hope Jane knows how lucky he is."
Yeah, so
And
she knows
people
what's up.
people were translating. People were like, "Was that like a typo in the captions?" And people who speak Russian were like, "Oh no, like she
That's what
used
she
the
said.
the pronoun that is he, so she knows that it's a dude." She doesn't know who, obviously, but
Yeah.
like she knows that it's a dude. So I feel like she would support, especially because she knew about the skate teacher that he was hooking
son.
up, like the son,
Yeah.
yeah. So because she knows about that, obviously. It seemed pretty obvious that she knew because he was flirting from jump when Ilya came into the room with them. So like
exactly.
But I don't know. So it might get sad. We might have to lock in for a sad season.
And you know what? That's probably good. Like I like how they're exploring different. Like it's like a normal relationship to have, even though they're queer.
Yeah.
Like because the world still has a lot to learn with that. But it's like okay, now we're getting deeper and just like a heteronormative relationship would, like mental health and your past, and so that's
because I feel like the thing about queer relationships that we usually see is that they don't live, like they don't make it, they don't survive, whether it's like someone actually dies or like they don't make it as a couple. I'm looking at you, Voltron. I'll never forgive you for what you've done to me. But like, I don't know. I'm excited. I'll probably just keep watching the last episode of season 1 after every episode of season 2 to
just to
feel joy and warmth in my heart. Just to stay safe in my spirit.
That's a good play.
This is going to be something that comes up in therapy because it has before, and I have literally talked to my therapist about heated rivalry because she's around my age.
Right.
So I was like, so have you watched Heated Rivalry? And she was like, yes. And I was like, okay, good.
This will be easier.
So now she's legally required as my therapist to keep watching so I can talk about it.
That's awesome. I love that.
She knows she has to. She doesn't have a choice.
Right on.
Oh,
all right. I think we've gabbed a long time. Look, it's almost like 2 hours almost.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Almost on the dot because I think we started at 2:30.
Hot damn.
Look at that.
Well, I guess I might as well end this so I don't have to edit too much. But we'll continue this. This was fun, and if you ever want to come back, I will definitely.
Oh, listen, I would be so down.
I'm
so ready.
Right
always.
On. Just D&D chatting away.
always. It'll be so great.
Okay, well, thank you guys for joining us. I will tag B's Instagram, Threads. Anything else you?
I'm on Instagram, Threads. I have a YouTube channel. I post cosplay content on there sometimes. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting back into it. I have more conventions coming up, so now it's time to,
Yay! Is it also called Onyx Nova Cosplay?
Yeah, everything is Onyx Nova Cosplay.
Okay.
I just use that everywhere.
Right
you can find me everywhere with that.
I'll throw some tags so y'all can follow her. But yeah, thanks again for joining me, and I guess we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.